not to interrupt your story time, but
Oh, blame it on you.
you also told me it needs to be done by 7 o'clock, so. So we have Kristen here, so we're gonna skip over to the Henry Street Safer to School project, SEQR. Start there today, so if you want to just pull that out. So, as you probably remember, last month we voted to be the lead agency, so now it's our role to determine if this is a manufacturing process, right? That's what the goal is today.
Yeah, so last month you voted to seek lead agency status. So then what we did was we sent letters immediately after the resolution was passed. We sent letters to all of the involved agencies. And we have to wait for 30 days for them to write back to say, yes, we think that the City of Kingston being lead agency is okay. And then once we hear back from them, we would like to pass, there's 2 resolutions that are part of this communication. One is to declare the Common Council the lead agency, and then the second resolution is to declare the mayor of declaration. So we shared all of the full environmental assessment forms that our engineers at Greenman and Peterson completed for the project, and I can get the engineer on the phone to answer questions.
Did you get any comments from the involved agencies?
I saw one that came through on email today that said, yes, the city should be the lead agency. The engineers are the ones who are really like paying attention to all the dotting all the I's and crossing the T's. So,
and when would the 30 days would be up until, would it be before our council vote?
I think it's the day of the council vote. So, but typically the agencies will get back to us earlier. They usually will get back to us within 15 days. But if they don't get back to us by the council meeting, then we would have to wait until August for both of these resolutions.
We're okay with council having a committee though? You just can't do the full.
Can we put, just to jump on that, can we put like condition of yes to lead the agency and conditions that we receive the call issue?
Yeah.
Out of committee at least?
That's what we did for the Broadway project many years ago. So I would assume we would do the same thing, that, because otherwise we have to wait a whole other month, and then we can't submit any design plans to DOT for a whole other month. So it slows down the progress of the project, and we're trying to get it built next year. So.
Yeah, I just don't want to also just bicep the process, so if that's a way that we could do that, is if we could say on condition or condition of.
Yeah, you can't declare lead agency until you have the responses from all of the agencies. So yeah,
So this meeting, this committee is really talking about if we get those and there's no problem, then the council can then vote on it. So just so everybody's clear.
Can I make a suggestion? Why don't we have a special meeting before caucus to vote on that? If we're still waiting for responses.
Yeah, you could do that, or you could do a conditional. I'm not the expert on the processes of the council, so I'm not sure if there's any
You can
problem.
certainly pass it out tonight, and if you can make it conditional, you can also have the engineering department reach out to whoever hasn't responded prior, just so that there's,
yeah, that's what we would probably do. We'd probably make a phone call and say, hey, I haven't responded yet, can you respond?
I don't think there's going to make a difference one way or another, whether you do it conditionally or whether you have a special meeting. If you have a special meeting before caucus, you're all going to be there anyway.
Does anybody else have a concern or?
I just have a question. If everyone responds, you still have to wait the 30 days because they have a chance to add to the response, correct? Is that true?
I think they're.
I mean, they probably don't often.
Yeah, there's.
Even if you have a response or something,
No. No, the 30 days is
respond if they have to.
If they don't respond in 30 days, then we don't have to wait for a response at all.
Right. Okay, but if they do.
That's
then-
their
then-
time
Okay.
limit.
I see.
Yeah, because then it's just
Okay.
approved,
Yeah,
right?
it's assumed that they have
Yeah.
no problem with the city being the lead agency, if after 30 days. But usually they all respond and say, we have no problem, unless they do have a problem. But they
No,
usually.
we want to be,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
very rare that they jump up and say that they want to be leaders.
Yeah,
Yes, that's something like that, so that's-
But that was the one issue that I had was the timeline. Just wanted to, if you have any others, if you want to just look through this together, just at least to start the conversation and decide if we want to pass it today or have a special meeting before August. Did you guys read through the?
I think
Yeah, had a couple of questions.
let me get Amanda from GPI on the
What?
phone, because she really knows this in and out. And if you guys have questions, I think she'll just be here and you can answer them. We'll get her on.
Well, I just have one question before, it's about the resolution that we're voting on. We had voted on declaring the common council as the lead agency. Now, this new resolution says the common council declaring the city of Kingston as the lead agency. So are we changing the lead agency?
No, the first resolution is, I don't remember the exact wording, but it's directing my office to seek lead agency status for the city of Kingston.
Okay.
And
I think that's what
now,
we was talking about.
Yeah.
right. No, this is today's resolution.
Right.
So then this one is then to declare it as lead agency. So the first is seeking lead agency, then it's to declare it.
No, but the
Right.
wording on that says the City of Kingston Common Council declaring the City of Kingston as lead agency.
Correct.
Yes.
That's what it says.
And his question is, should it say declaring the common council to be the lead agency?
Oh. Do you have a copy of the resolution? Or the actual resolution?
But yeah, I mean, that's the resolution that I printed.
Yeah, it should be declaring the city of Kingston
That's
Common Council as the lead agency.
Right, but that was in that's in the contract. I could rewrite this,
Okay.
but this is what we received, so we should rewrite
Okay.
that, right?
Yeah, I don't know if the city of Kingston and the city of Kingston Common Council is different, but if it is, then it should be the Common Council.
Yeah, I'd rather err on the
Yeah,
side of caution. Thanks for noticing that, 'cause I did not. Yeah, we could just write up a new one if we,
yeah,
uh,
okay, so I'll get.
On this one.
Yeah, it says it. Hi Amanda, this is Kristen, the city of Kingston.
Hi, Kristen.
You're on speakerphone with quite a few people in the room. So
Okay.
we were just about to get into the environmental assessment form, and council members had any questions that hoping you can answer.
Okay.
does anybody have any questions before I? Bill?
Well, on the first page where it says the existing sidewalks consist of a combination of bluestone, concrete, and asphalt, and then it says they're gonna be replaced,
Page number.
just right, 1 of 13, right, you know, the very first.
Part
first
one?
page. Yeah, it's part 1, first page. And we will be, it didn't look like it was going to replace with blue. My question is, will it not be bluestone here? Is that a factor? I know some areas in the city that that's a factor as far as needing to be bluestone. I didn't know if that was the case here.
Yeah, I can answer that question. I believe we have proposed concrete, and
Right.
Amanda, correct me if I'm wrong, for the length of the street. Our code now says that bluestone is only required in historic areas.
Okay.
So, bluestone's very expensive.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I just wanted to make sure that it was the first thing.
What's gonna happen to the bluestone? I mean, is it savable? What's there that they're removing?
The bluestone that's there would be salvaged and be put in our bluestone bank, which is managed by DPW. And then it can be reused on other city projects.
Anybody else have a question?
Are we into the document?
Yes.
I just have one clarification on page 10 of the 13 at the bottom. I'm just curious, because it says, is the project within 2,000 feet of the site? Of remediation, that's in the remediation database. And then we've got yes, but then the note says that it's 2,300 feet away. So I'm just wondering, is that just to be on the safe side in terms of discussing this?
You mean 17, 13?
No, 10 of 13 down here. 17 of the total packet, or 10 of 13 of the application.
Amanda, could you hear that question?
Yes, it was about the distance from the nearest remediation site where the minimum is 2,000 and ours is 2,300.
Yes.
Yes, I believe that was just to be on the safe side. Also, there's always something that comes up, whether it was a very small spill or something like that, to that effect. So since there were a couple spills that were probably only gasoline or something to that effect at a household, we felt like because it was 2,300, which is pretty close to the threshold, to be on the safe side, we would check off yes, that it was within, although it's a little bit over.
Okay. And then are there any issues with stormwater runoff by adding this, adding these changes?
No, we don't believe there'll be any issues with stormwater runoff. We are going to try to maximize green space wherever we can and try to direct water so that it will infiltrate rather than go into the stormwater system. Obviously, by adding some impervious area that's not already there, we will be maintaining the runoff that already exists. It won't be a project where we have a net loss, but overall, it will not be a very large increase or change into our water runoff that you see now. We'll also be adding more trees than what exists on the street today, so that will also help with increasing the infiltration of stormwater of what you see on the street now.
And it says you're going to be redirecting some of the stormwater runoff to existing closed drainage systems, so that's just something that's already there that's not going to be open? Is that correct? Or something like that?
What page are you?
6 of 13, part 1. E number 3 is the stormwater runoff will be directed to existing closed drainage systems located along existing curb line.
Were you able to hear that, Amanda?
Not too long now.
Okay, she was asking about question E3 on page 6. It says stormwater runoff will be directed to existing closed drainage system located along existing curb line. I think the answer to that is that stormwater will be directed to the existing drains that are on the road. When they say closed drain, that just means, well, actually, you can explain that.
Yeah, the existing closed drainage system are just the catch basins or the slotted grates that you see on the roadway. So it would be maintaining the same way that it is now. So the stormwater runoff will run along the curb line, and then it will be directed to the drain that are at the intersection, on the side roads of Henry or along Henry.
Bill?
Yeah, I had a question on that same topic is, do we know if that's in good shape, or is it, or not to be open up, can we tell if it's, what kind of shape it's in? Because it might be a good time to address it while we're doing this project. I don't know if there's a way to know if, what kind of shape of our infrastructure.
Do you want me to answer that, Amanda?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I can add.
We'll probably come back to you guys soon, because we are concerned about the sewers under Henry Street, and we're not really able to utilize the sewer camera that we own to analyze the sewers, and that we have to do a bypass to really look and see what the condition is of the sewers. So we
Okay.
are thinking about that.
And the work that we're doing with this project, is that going to be, like, if we come back to it, is that gonna have any effect on what we're doing now?
Yes, this is a transportation alternatives program project, so it's a federal funding source, and the federal funding source is specifically only for walking and bicycling infrastructure. And so this only funds the sidewalks and the bicycle infrastructure, and so we have to look at other sources for the sewers and the paving.
Not quite answering my question. If we finish this project and then have to go back and we find money someplace to fix the sewers, is that going to impact the project that we already just?
Yeah, sorry, so that I guess the reason I was saying that, I was jumping ahead, is that if we do need to replace the sewers, we would like to do that in conjunction with this project, not after.
Okay.
Because then you would have to,
Right, and you
we
want to
don't
do work
want to
and
dig
have
into
to
this
dig it.
project after we've built it.
So you're looking into finding funds for that and for the sewers?
Yeah,
or
well,
you
first
just-
we need to know what's going on, and we can't use our current sewer camera we will be coming back or finding funds within the city budget, the existing city budget, to analyze what's going on in the sewers.
And you're gonna work those timelines to be together?
Yeah,
That's your ability.
that's ideally,
Okay.
yeah. So, some of the issues with the paving on Henry have to do with what's going on underneath with the sewers. So it is a real challenge.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any other questions on the stormwater?
I do. On page 2 of 13, it says, you checked yes for the located community with an approved local waterfront revitalization program. Does that subject us to any further evaluation? The fact that we have that's checked yes? Or only if like the box above it is checked yes on 2 of 13, or the coastal resources?
Middle of the page.
It doesn't actually, it's really just asking if we are in a community that has one of those programs. It doesn't necessarily affect this project because this project is outside of the area that the local waterfront revitalization program impacts. That's mostly focused on North Street and East Rand down on the waterfront.
Gotcha.
And I have a question on page 8. This is about the noise ordinance, because it says it will be affecting noise. So it says that limited to will produce temporary noise limited to the construction phase during normal daytime hours between 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. But that is before the city's noise ordinance laws. So does this need to get like a special permit for that, or is this just, how does that work?
What are the noise hours laws?
I believe it's 7 a.m., right?
No, it's
8 a.m.
8 a.m. to
6.
8 a.m. to 6. So Amanda, that was probably a typo, right?
Yeah, that was probably, and we could definitely revise that. And if the contractor felt like they needed to start earlier, then we would direct them in the contract documents when the project goes out to bid that they'll need to apply for a permit or a variance or whatever the city would require in order for them to start earlier if they felt it was necessary for specific days.
So can we have that changed?
Yeah, we'll change that.
We'll change it.
Does that answer your question, Bill, or?
Yes.
I'm interested in the trees. How do you determine in a project like this how many trees to plant? Who does that kind of study?
I'm going to defer to Amanda to answer that question. Essentially our engineers look at where tree placement can happen and they decide. So, Amanda, do you have anything to say about that?
Sure. In an urban street like this, it is a lot more complicated on tree placement than it would normally be on a road that doesn't have on-street parking, or is as residential, or if it's heavily commercial, will be the same thing. You have to take into account that people are going to have door swings, so it can be inconvenient when the trees are larger for people to open their doors if they're parking adjacent to the trees. Also on this street, something we need to take into account is that people put their trash cans out on the curb. So making sure that we leave enough space, especially for the multi-resident building, that there's enough room for trash cans to be placed there and things like that. So we take that into account, and we also look at how close it is to the intersection and making sure that we're maintaining sight distance for vehicles and bicycles. So based on those factors, that gives you a good starting point of where you can place trees and how many you can really have that will be successful in the area. And then if there's anything else that we need to take into account, like existing trees or how close certain porches are to the area, or stairs maybe because of the root system, we'll take that into account as well.
And also on Henry, I think we're looking at overhead lines as well. Amanda,
Yeah.
as far as Central Hudson, do you want to talk about that at all?
Sure. So there are currently lines on both sides of Henry, so we have to be very cognizant and making sure that when we select tree species, that we're making sure that they're slow-growing trees or naturally trees that do not grow as tall as other types of trees, just so that we don't have to come across the same issue that Henry's seen and streets all over the city are seeing, is that Central Hudson comes back and they limb the tree up, and if they do it too much, then the tree dies. So we're definitely trying to be cognizant of that and looking at if we can do anything to maybe displace the tree so it's not directly underneath the line.
About a year ago, I believe it was, the city did a tree inventory. Did you use any of that information? Sorry,
Yeah, I don't know if you can hear that far away. The question was, did you utilize the tree inventory? And I believe they did. And Amanda, I think you can confirm that, but we shared that with them as well. They do their own tree inventory.
Who is the
GPI, they do, they have a picture of every single house, every single,
well, yeah,
they do it's super extensive.
Tree inventory too. The green trees are the existing trees,
Yeah.
Henry Street. The green trees are the existing trees, and then the white are the I think, proposed where they could put trees. So I just wasn't sure if they utilized that information that we got a year ago.
Amanda, you have the tree inventory, do you?
Yes, we do have the tree inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah, and, regarding trees, again, I was happy to see you at the tree commission for the last meeting. I just want to make sure, are they going to continue to be, their input, is it going to continue to be sought for this project? I know in the past, by the time it gets to them, the project has been too far into the design process for their input to even take into account?
Well, so this gets at a question I think that I mentioned in the commission as well. All of the councils, all of the commissions are asked to review and be engaged in our design projects. So, and really that is through our public meetings. And we will continue to engage the tree commission. You know, if a particular council takes a particular interest in a project, I'm happy to communicate with them, and I have been for the last, we've been communicating about the Broadway project over the last week, back and forth. So I'm happy to do that. But I just should also say that all of the commissions, like Green Streets Advisory Council, I think all of the commissions have the responsibility to be paying attention to what municipal projects are going on and contribute in a timely manner when there's public meetings going on. Because one of the things that, you know, and this is not specific to Henry, but for all of the design projects, we have specific periods of public comment, and the reason we have those periods is so that then we can move on with the design. Because if we're constantly going back and forth, that's consultant time, which is money, and it's also staff time, city staff time. And so, I'm just saying that in general, folks should be aware of that the back and forth can take a lot of time and make it confusing for the staff and also the consultants to be able to make decisions. And so I just wanted to say that.
Yeah,
and we will continue to engage with the tree
But a lot of
commission.
these are volunteer boards, so can we
Yeah.
make it best practice to, if a project involves trees or whatever other commission, that those commissions are notified that, hey, there's going to be a public meeting about this, and their input would be necessary.
Yeah, I think we could do that, and I think that is a best practice. I guess I'll have to talk with Summer and Communications as to what's the best way to do that. I mean, do I send an
Maybe
email?
using, well, the
To all-
council liaison too.
Yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
start that as a, not to call you out not doing it because it hasn't been the practice, but, you know, that could be a role of that.
yeah, and maybe that's just a conversation we need to have, like, what is the best way? Because honestly, I don't have the emails, or, I mean, I could go on the city website and find everybody, you know, it's, like, that can be laborious, and so what's the best way to just get the word out? And, you know, maybe it's just that all the press releases go to all of the commissioners or something like that, you know, so that everybody's notified that these projects are going on. And
Well, yeah, I can imagine how the tree commission must feel when a project goes through and they're like, what happened? You know, we weren't informed, or we missed that one. How did we miss that one? You know, we do have to remember, these people volunteering their time. They have other things to do. You know, this isn't their main job. So I mean, we have to probably go out of our way to try to get these people involved. You know, keep them involved, right?
yeah, I mean, I think with the Henry Street project, there were tree commissioners at the meeting, at the public meeting.
There were or were not?
There were.
There were?
Yeah.
There were.
Yeah. So, you know, I
Just
don't
going
think
forward.
I missed the boat on the Henry Street project, you know, maybe on the Broadway project, but, I think we hear about it clear, the commission wants to be involved on street projects.
So what are their
and-
thoughts on this project in particular?
Well, Kristen gave a presentation at the last meeting that was very informative, and I think everybody was happy with the outcome of that. I'm just mentioning because I know in the past they have been frustrated that a project is already too far along by the time they hear that it's happening for their input to be taken into account.
And these are the people who deal with the trees when the projects go wrong, right? They plant the wrong trees or they do the wrong thing. These are the people that have to hear it, you know, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years down the road when the tree is growing through somebody's house, you know. These are the people that have to listen to it. So, you know, maybe they should have a chance to be involved.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Broadway project started before I came here, so, the city, so I don't know specifically the engagement at that point. And, you know, commissions also evolve.
Yeah.
I don't know that they were as active as they are now. When I first started working for the city, I don't remember the tree commission being as active as they are now. So, I mean, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
And I also think that, you know, the tree commission and the Complete Streets Advisory Council should be talking to each other more. Because, you know, it's all one system, really.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have any questions on, I have another question on part 2, but before we move to part 2, does anybody else have any
Yes.
questions on part 1?
On page 3 of 13, it says, in section D, project details, letter C, is the proposed action an expansion of an existing project or use? And it was checked no, but isn't there a new bike lane going on the west side? Would that be considered that, or no?
Amanda, can you answer that question? Did you hear that?
Was it part D or for
D, yeah, project
D,
details.
letter C?
Section D, letter C, yes.
Expansion of an existing project or use. I guess I could see it going either way. I think when we checked no, we looked at it as, it's not an expansion of an existing use necessarily, it's more of a transformation of the use or an addition of usage, I guess, is how we were thinking of it.
So you're not necessarily widening it, you're just making a separate, running through painting, just sending a separate section. Is that correct?
Right, that's kind of how we're thinking of it as, the existing sidewalk is being changed into a side path. So it's kind of, it is expanding upon what exists, but it's also changing it into something different. So it could be a yes if you feel that it could change. I'm not opposed to it, but I feel that it's one that's why we checked no.
Okay.
Any other part 1 questions? So my question, no, sorry. Alright, part 2, my question was about, so on page 8, on part 2, number 13, the impact on transportation. It says there is an impact, but it's not clear on what that impact may be, because everything is checked off as either no or small impact, so I'm just curious for more details.
I'm sorry, what question was it?
Page 8 of part 2, number 13, impact on transportation. The proposed action may result in change to existing transportation. It's 8 of 10, if that helps.
Page 30.
Page 30, just page 30.
So, when it says small, so it's checked no or small impact. Usually this means if the question is really pointed towards negative impacts. And so I think the answer is there's no.
But why does it say yes? Because then that to me means one of those means it's a small, at least one of those means it's a small impact may occur. Because why else would you say yes on the big question? And
Yeah.
you know.
Well, so when I've worked on this in the past, and Amanda can jump in here, I think yes, there is going to be positive impact. So when you're answering the first question, it's going to change existing transportation systems. Yes, but in the under questions in A, B, C, D, E, and F they're talking about degrading existing transit hubs, degrading pedestrian and bicycle accommodation. So we're checking no there because it's not going to degrade things, but overall it's going to impact transportation.
Well, maybe a suggestion, I don't know if it's necessary to this, but under F, which is other impacts, could have been where the explanation of that, how, you know. were to
Yeah.
say.
That it's a positive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
'cause just looking at this, it was very, like some things, it could be all of these may have an impact, or one of them,
Yeah,
and especially checking the others too, so that was very,
I think it's actually part of the question, because to Kristen's point, some of these are kind of torturous in the way that they're put, because they want you to basically say no, so that whoever's reviewing can just look and see if it's all no. And this is one of the few, it seems to me, where yes is called for, even if not much is gonna happen, so.
it's a little bit of a flaw in the form, actually.
yeah, so, yeah, it
It's-
was, yeah, that
so
maybe under.
the
like,
answer is yes, and we can put under other impacts, the project will positively improve, it will improve pedestrian and bicycle
Right.
infrastructure. Would you agree with that, Amanda?
Yes, I agree with that wholeheartedly. They do make this form more difficult to show positive impacts of projects. So, I agree with Kristen on that 100%, and we can make that change.
Alright, Bill?
Hey, can I go back to part one?
No.
On page 11.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
there was one I missed. I just really wanted to explain, because I didn't fully understand it. On the bottom of page 11 of 13, which is page 18 on this, it's a project site located over or immediately adjoining a primary principal or sole source aquifer. And if you ask this as the name is a principal aquifer, can you explain that? What that is?
It was underneath Henry Street.
Yeah, like what's the principal aquifer? I didn't know what that was referencing.
WADA,
Amanda,
I know it's the one.
did you hear that question?
secret river.
Yeah, it's the project is located over a principal aquifer.
Right.
It's an aquifer, I mean, the principal aquifer is just a classification of different types of aquifers. So, Henry Street just happens to be over, what they would qualify as principal aquifer, for the project. So it doesn't come into effect too much for this type of project, but something where either you're changing the elevation of your project a lot, or you're changing the way that water will move through the project, whether you're changing the drainage system or the pattern, that could have a large effect. You could be draining the aquifer, which could be a large source of water for the community. So that's where that question comes into play, and it just so happens that Henry Street is in the area of a principal aquifer. It wouldn't have an effect on the project, and you would never know.
Okay,
But
well,
that's where it comes from.
well, that's good. I feel safer. Thank you. All right,
Yeah.
you can move
Now we
on.
can move back to
Miss
part
Chair.
two. Does anybody have a question on, any more questions on part two, because that's Rennie?
Just a brief one. This is page 7 of 10, or page 29 in our packet. And just a little unclear, it's asking, this is in the section about historic and archaeological resources. It says yes, and then it says that see New York State Department of Transportation, SHPO, no potential effect concurrence letter. Has that been received, or is that requested? And what exactly does that encompass, the concurrence letter?
We did receive, Kristen, if you want to go ahead.
No, you go ahead, you know better than I do.
We did receive a concurrence letter from New York State DOT. So what, I'm not sure how many of you are familiar with this Section 106 requirements that we have on these projects. Basically, it's for any historic or archaeological resource that may be in the area. You need to do screening through state resources, and you need to document any building that's over the age of 50, which is basically every building that's along Henry Street, and you need to check if any of them are on the National Register. So we went through that whole process and detailing what the effects and the impacts of the project would be on adjacent properties, or if we're in a historic district, which this project isn't. We're close to a couple, but we're not within one of Henry. So we did come across that there are 2 buildings that are National Register eligible that are adjacent to the project. One's at the intersection of Clinton Avenue, and one is, I forget the name of that building, but the one that's under, rehabilitation right now.
Transfer
So
building.
our project will not be impacting those properties, but we did bring that up, and that is why we're going through this more extensive EAS or secure process, is because we are adjacent to eligible properties that could be on the National Register at some point.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Any other part two questions? Bill,
No.
you sure?
Any other part one
No.
questions?
Yeah.
Come back in 10 minutes.
More part one. No, I'm good.
Okay. So then part three is the assessment form.
Bring it on.
Which is being or proposed, this project will result in no significant adverse impacts on the environment, and therefore an environmental impact statement need not be prepared. Accordingly, this neg deck is issued. If you're looking at page 2 of part 3. Is everybody comfortable with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Is anybody not comfortable with that? My only issues is just making sure that it's, the timeline is, I don't wait for the comments.
Yeah,
So I don't know if this committee wants to wait and just put that as a condition. Sorry, I said that wrong. Put it as a condition for tonight, take our vote, or to have a special meeting once we're the day before council at caucus, so that we know if we have comments or not.
I'd rather see the comments before I vote.
To have a special meeting.
I prefer going with conditions, and if it comes up at caucus or later, if there's something that changes, obviously we could revisit or send it back to committee at that time.
I agree with Bill. In this case, conditions.
In this case, not in every case.
Either way, the final vote won't be until council.
Jeffrey, you want a public meeting?
Hmm?
You want a public meeting?
No. I just would rather see the comments from the involved agencies before deciding whether this has this should be, I agree that I think it should be a
Would the
negative
comments-
text, but
The comments, would that be them just on us being the lead agency, or would they also be commenting on the actual environmental impact?
no, they, Amanda, you can answer that question. The agencies will comment on the environmental impact, correct?
Correct, they will.
Yeah, so they will, and then, some of them will just say, we agree that the city should be the lead agency, and we'll have no comment on
And what Jeffrey wants is that information before the votes, correct?
Well, before,
sounds reasonable.
we need to have that information before the council votes. And so that will happen.
That will
But
happen.
just this committee, because we are just recommending or not recommending this to the council as our committee duty. So we can, the first option would be to recommend it in condition that we get the comments. Because then the council, we could all say, yes, we want this to move forward, and then the 5 of us vote no on it in the council meeting.
And then we can look at it at.
Correct, and
Before the meeting, right?
it. Yeah, I mean, as
Okay,
soon
is
as
that
I
okay
get
with
the
you?
comments, I
Okay
can
with that.
share them
Okay.
with you.
Yeah.
Tony,
So
do
we'll
you
get the
have?
information.
Yeah, whatever you guys decide, either way. Have a meeting
Fine.
before, a special council, a special laws and rules meeting before, at caucus, before caucus for you to
As
look
long as
at
we get the information, we can look at it.
Or you can just
before
get it
the
at that
meeting.
day.
I think that's fine.
At caucus, we're all gonna get it at caucus, and then you guys can,
Yeah,
you guys
we would need
can
that
comment
information.
to the rest of the
Well, the
council.
council's out of committee, we would need to get that information before we vote on it.
Now, would I have to write this on the resolution, write that in condition to making sure we have the comments?
If you want that to be a condition, it should be in the committee report, I mean,
I think we are all saying we want them to be a condition, or we wait.
So just-
Yeah, I mean, you can't vote on the resolutions until either 30 days pass or you get all the comments.
Right.
So if you don't get them, then we have to wait till August.
And 30 days is out council day.
Amanda, what day was the 30 days up? It's up.
Council's on July 2nd.
Yeah. Caucus is on July
I
1st, isn't it?
think we're gonna be cutting it close, because.
Yeah, we'll definitely be.
Yeah, it's actually not up until the 8th,
I think
right?
it's maybe 2 or 3 days after the meeting.
Yeah, so, but we're hoping that all the agencies will respond before,
And if they don't, we just wait.
then we just wait. Okay. Any more questions for Amanda?
Is it proper to call the involved agencies and say, hey, do you have any comments? I mean, or is that?
There's no reason you can't.
Yeah, we can, and we can say, can you send us, because a lot of the involved agencies may just, they don't respond.
Because they know
And they
that if
just-
they don't
yeah,
respond,
it's
it's just,
30
it's
days.
basically, yeah.
But we
30
can ask
days,
them,
yeah.
can you just send us a
If they don't,
communication?
there's nothing you can do about it because they still have the 30 days.
Right, but
Yeah.
if we don't give them
Might
the
have-
30 days,
Right.
then that's not.
Yeah.
Right. They can say, thank you for asking, but we're taking our 30 days anyway.
Sounds like something you would do.
What's that?
So it really seems like then going back to Jeffrey, then I mean, listen to this, since it's not 30 days, it's several days after, that you just have a special meeting. Because if you don't get these comments, and they have the 30 days, they might, some agency could send it in on July 3rd or 4th, whatever day it is, and you won't get that.
Well, then we just refer back to committee.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, that you can just have a special meeting there, and say, we got the comments, let's throw it out, we're gonna pass it out, same day caucus, we're gonna look at it. You're in special laws and rules, and you don't get it all, you say, okay, we're referring it back.
Right, we can do that anyway. We can do that with the outside committee.
Do you
I
folks
move
have
that we
questions
accept this
for Amanda?
conditionally.
That's you guys' laws and rules.
Can I,
5 days.
I just,
Yeah, we can.
Oh, yeah, thank you very much, yeah, sorry, you
Thank
don't
you
need to
so
hold your
much,
house
Amanda.
down.
Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you.
Thank you guys.
Just put
Okay,
it-
enjoy the rest of your meeting.
okay, bye-bye.
Condition upon
Sorry.
receipt of responses from all involved.
These
Consultant time.
agencies don't respond on time, just you know, some cupcakes. Or we don't. Then we have to promise some cupcakes for them.
You know, you're committing Andrea to making more cupcakes without consulting with her first.
So Andrea made these?
Well, you can make it then.
Oh, yeah, that's a good plan. Yes, that's a real good plan.
All right, so resolution of the City of Kingston Common Council, conditioned upon receipt of responses from all involved agencies, declaring the City of Kingston as lead agency for the Henry. I think we need to rewrite all of this because we also don't. That's not the correct thing. Elisa, do you have another? So this isn't a complete mess. Sorry, but just because it says the City of Kingston, I want to add in Common Council.
In the letter I wrote declaring the common council the lead agency, so.
But the resolution just says City of Kingston, and I want it to be correct. So I'll read it and then I'll write it up, but, so conditioned upon receipt of responses from all involved agencies declaring the City of Kingston, and I'll write Common Council as lead agency for the Henry Street Safe Routes to School project in the State Environmental Review Quality Review Act SEQR process pursuant T06, Niker Part 6117. So is there a motion to approve? this?
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so I apologize, it just took me a couple minutes to write this up.
Can I ask you a question?
Any questions? Sure.
So the common council is going to be voting on the seeker determination before, and the lead agency determination before the 30 days is up for the involved and interested agencies to be, but you can do that if you've gotten all
Only
the comments
if we
back?
have, we're only gonna do that if we have, we can only do it, and we are only doing it if we get all the comments
So
back.
if you have all the comments from all the interested and involved agencies, then you will vote within that 30-day window because you have all the comments?
Correct. But we will not vote on it if we do not have the comments.
Got it. And then, who's Amanda?
She's the project engineer at Greenman Peterson Incorporated.
What's her last name?
Amanda Joy.
Greenman Peterson.
Greenman Peterson, and I believe her title is, she's a PE, I know that. She's a project engineer.
What's
PE?
No, sorry. So they're the ones who filled out that EAF.
Yeah.
Consultants.
So essentially this, the city hires, we do the procurement process, we hire a design and engineering firm, and they typically will do all of that background work for us.
And then last question, isn't the tree commission part of the review process generally? Don't they have,
My understanding is that the tree commission is a body of the city of Kingston, and so they wouldn't be listed as an involved agency. The involved agencies are like DEC, New
no,
York
but I mean,
State.
like within the review process, if it's a historical thing, it would go to the HLTC. If there are trees involved on city property to be removed and replanted, wouldn't it go to the tree commission?
That's not how we've typically done with municipal projects. Dan, do you want to answer that question?
It's our position that the statute doesn't cover action by.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I didn't hear it.
It's our position that the statute does not cover action by the municipality. It covers action by individuals. The municipality is not an individual.
No permit, right. So in the code, it talks about a person needing to get a permit for removal of a tree.
On
It
city
does not
property.
cover the city of Kingston.
Okay, thank you.
So we're our own body. We wouldn't be issuing permits for ourselves.
All right, and then, go ahead, do the same thing.
Oh,
Those ones.
oh, the Kingston Point Wrap, that was next door. Yeah, this is one. Thank you.
This one.
Bill, did you go next door and see if the big truck lady is there? You said you were going to.
This is so wrong.
What are you talking about?
We were supposed to do a presentation today.
Dan.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Oh, are you now?
Yeah, there you go,
Oh.
so she is here.
Hi.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I got stuck outside of Albany trying to get
Oh, no, it's
south.
okay.
My
I just,
apologies.
We
no,
just
it's
didn't know who
okay.
you
I just-
were.
We
and-
did, we didn't know.
well,
And
you
you
have
really
a
wondered if you
badge,
went
you
into
know.
the
Well,
other
you did.
meeting.
Yeah, well,
Presented.
There you go.
thank you for checking on me.
All right, and then so the next resolution is resolution of the City of Kingston Common Council conditioned upon receipt of responses from all involved agencies, issuing a negative declaration in connection with the Henry Street Safe Routes to School project in the State Environmental Quality Review Act SEQR process pursuant to 6 NYCRR Part 617. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Great, thank you, Kristen.
All right.